Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, Judge?
I'm all right. You guys ready to get started?
Yes, ma'am.
We got the females first, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, so are you gonna you're just gonna bring the females out just in one group together so we can do the oath?
We're gonna bring everybody, all the females out, and the people for the first.
Okay, all right. All right, one moment.
First, the last time. You see the female. I'm going to medical. I'm fine here. Huh? Ready for phone?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna pull it. Ladies. All y'all.
Okay, you ready, Your Honor?
I got it.
That's all I got.
I got your food.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Would you please raise your right hand, everybody? Do you swear or affirm everything that you put on your affidavit is the truth? If so, keep your lower your hands. If you did not tell the truth, keep your hands up. So if you told the truth on the affidavit, you can lower your hands now. All right, it looks like everybody lowered their hand. All right, so what I'm going to do now is basically go over your rights for first appearance today. And then after that, we'll take you each individually. So this is your first appearance in the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We're not here to try your case today or to take a plea. I'm here to inform you of what you've been charged with. And if you're getting a bond, what the bond amount has been set for. And you'll have the opportunity to either waive your preliminary hearing or you can decide to keep it. If you decide that you want to waive your preliminary hearing and you don't make bond, you'll be in court within about 2 weeks. If you decide that you want to have a hearing, I can tell you now, your court date, if you're charged with a misdemeanor, is going to be February the 9th. And if you're charged with a felony, it'll be February the 15th. So if you decide to keep your hearing, because I don't want to have to explain this to each one of you again. So if you decide that you want to keep your preliminary hearing and you have a misdemeanor, your court date is going to be February the 9th. If you have a felony, it's going to be February the 15th. If you decide you want to waive your preliminary hearing, you'll have a court date with whatever judge is assigned to your case in about 2 weeks. All right, so some of you will be allowed to
You're on mute, Judge.
Okay, I was trying to fix this green screen. Okay, all right. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release pending the prosecution of your case, which can be cash, a commercial bond through a bonding company, which they usually require around 15%, or a property bond. If you decide to use a property bond, you must have at least 3 times the equity amount of whatever your bond is to be able to use property. Some of you will also have special conditions on your bond that will prohibit you from contacting a certain person or going to a certain place. These are special conditions, and you'll have to sign your bond with a special condition listed on there. You will also be prohibited from calling that person or having any contact with the victim while you're in jail. Should you violate the court's order while you're waiting trial, you can also be charged with aggravated stalking, influence a witness, or any other charge that's allowed by law, and you may not be eligible for a bond if you violate the court's special condition bonds. If you have family members who are going to assist you with posting bond, we'll have that information to them by the end of this court date. The jail will have it and they can give you the information. If that family member happens to be a victim or the alleged victim in the case, they will not be able to post the bond for you. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set a bond by law. In this event, you'll be scheduled for a bond hearing before a superior court judge if it's a felony. If you are current, let's see. The purpose of the preliminary hearing is to determine if there's enough evidence, probable cause, basically to justify keeping you here detained until your case goes to trial. If you're charged with misdemeanors only, you can waive your preliminary hearing or you can decide to keep it, as well as felonies. Waiving your preliminary hearing will not affect your right to post bond, and you also will have a right to have an attorney represent you if you qualify for one, if you decide to have a trial. If you actually post your bond and you make bond and you are released, you will not have a preliminary hearing. It will be waived, and you will get notice from whichever court that your case is in when you have to appear back in court. If you cannot make bond and you waive your preliminary hearing, then the judge that's assigned to your case will have your case within 2 to 3 weeks. So now we'll go ahead and get started with the females. The first person is going to be Casey Birchfield.
For 1 second, Judge.
Are you Miss Birchfield? Okay, Miss Birchfield, you've been charged with 2 counts of violating the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. You were charged with trafficking. I dismissed that charge. And you had another charge of violating the Georgia Controlled Substance Act and possession of marijuana and possession of drug-related objects. Your bond for all 3 of the violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act is $5,000 each. And your possession of marijuana is $1,500 and drug-related objects is $1,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? You said you want to waive it? Do you think that you'll be able to make the bond?
I don't know. I really don't.
Did you fill out the form for a court-appointed attorney?
I think so. If that was
Okay. I'll appoint you an attorney, and your case will, if you don't make the bond, then the Superior Court judge that's assigned to your case will have you in court in about 2 weeks, okay? Do you have any questions?
not at the moment.
Okay, all right, thank you. You can go back with the deputy. Deputy, can you make sure that Ms. Birchfield's complete a waiver form?
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't hear you.
Board.
All right, are you Chrysalyn Branch? What's your name?
I'm Clayton.
What's I didn't hear you. What's your last name?
Clayton.
Clayton?
Your Honor, Branch is OTV. She left
Oh,
already.
okay. All right. Can you go back with the deputies until I find your paperwork? I'll take Destiny Cook next. Are you Miss Cook? Hi, Ms. Cook. You've been charged with possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce. Your bond is set at $1,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Keep it. Waiving it is sooner, right?
You said waiving what?
Waiving it is gonna be sooner, right?
Yes,
I'd like to keep my preliminary hearing, please.
All right, so your preliminary hearing is going to be February the 9th. Are you going to be able to make bond?
I believe so, yes.
And are you requesting to hire your own attorney, or would you like a court-appointed attorney?
A court-appointed attorney.
I'll appoint you an attorney. If you don't make bond, you'll be in court. Well, your preliminary hearing date is going to be February the 9th. Did you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can go back with the deputy.
4014. 4014.
What's the inmate working at? He want these keys working on that door. Hey, Crowley, what's the inmate working at?
Are you Miss Harley? Miss Harley, you've been charged with DUI less safe and open container violation. The bond for your DUI is $5,000 and the open container is $500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
So when I keep my preliminary hearing, that means I will show up in court on February 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to keep it.
So do you think you'll be able to make bond?
I'm not sure yet. So if I make bond, am I paying 10% for both? Or you want $5,000?
No, so if you make the bond, it's going to be 15% of $5,500 through a bonding company.
Okay. I'm gonna try.
Okay. All right, so your preliminary hearing date is set for February the 9th, and it will be at 8:30 in the morning. And are you requesting a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Based on your affidavit application, I'm going to approve that. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you can go back with the deputies. Ms. Hunter, Angelica Hunter. Are you Ms. Hunter? Ms. Hunter, you've been charged with driving with a suspended license and your bond is $1,500 and failure to yield, and that bond is $500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? You want to waive it? Do you think you're going to be able to make your bond?
I'm gonna try. I hope so.
It would be 15% of $2,000 if you go through a bonding company. All right, and would you like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your application, I'm going to approve your request. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, you can go back with the deputy. Ms. McLean, Aisha McLean.
You bonded out, Your Honor.
All right. Young Quita Moore.
She's coming, Your Honor.
All right.
Here you go.
Are you Ms. Moore? Okay. Ms. Moore, you've been charged with battery, family violence. Your bond has been set at $5,000. You do have special conditions. You can't have any contact with Brandon Hooks, and you can't return back to 6204 Bentley Crossing in Riverdale, Georgia at 30274. Do you understand it?
That's my home.
I understand it may be your home. So what you're going to have to do is have your attorney reach out to the prosecutor's office so they can change the condition so they can investigate. Because as I'm sitting here, I don't know the facts one way or the other, and I have to keep the peace until the time being. So you need to let your attorney get in contact with the state so they can change that condition. Okay?
Can I ask a question too?
Yes, ma'am.
The victim does not live there.
Yeah, I'm clear. I heard you when you said it was your apartment.
I'm just saying that he's not like there.
I'm clear on what you're saying. That's the third time you said it. However, but I'm here. I didn't investigate the case. So I don't know what you're saying to be true or not true. So in an abundance of caution, that's going to have to be the condition until your attorney can change it. So your attorney can let the prosecutor know, and then they can change it. You understand? They can show you the lease that is your apartment, and then they'll change it. And they'll bring a consent bond, and we'll sign off on it, okay? Would you like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
And would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
You said that's February 9th.
Yeah, misdemeanor be February the 9th if you decide that you want to keep your preliminary hearing. If you waive it, you'll be in court probably in about 2 weeks if you don't make your bond.
Okay. I'll keep it for February 9th.
Okay. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, all right, you can go back with the deputy. Is Ms. Perkins next? Are you Ms. Perkins? All right, you've been charged with criminal trespass. The bond is set at $1,000. Do you live at this location? I can't hear you. Okay. And is that so who all stays there besides is it your nephew and your son? Who all stays there?
My nephew don't stay there.
Oh, so he was just over there?
The spring
Okay.
break.
All right. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Keep it.
It'll be February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. And do you think you'll be able to make bond?
Yes.
And are you going to be able to hire your own attorney, or would you like to be considered for court-appointed attorney?
Appointed attorney.
Okay, after reviewing your application, you qualify for an attorney, so I'm going to appoint one to you. Do you have any questions? Do you have any? No, okay, you can go back with the deputies. Are you Ms. Powell? I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay. Ms. Powell, you've been charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, disorderly conduct, unlawful conduct during a 911 call, and terroristic threats. For violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, your bond is set at $1,000. Disorderly conduct is $1,500. Unlawful conduct during a 911 call is $1,000, and the terroristic threats is $5,000. Do you think that you'll be able to make your bond?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Waive it, ma'am.
You said keep it?
Waive it.
Waive it, okay. Did you have any questions?
I'm not from here, so I wanted to know. I just moved here and I don't have a Georgia ID, so I stay with my boyfriend. But I do have other family members here, so I want to know how could this situation like get better or worse, like because I don't have a lawyer out here. My family's all from Chicago.
Did you fill out a court-appointed attorney form, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it now, and if you qualify, I'll appoint you an attorney. And so they'll reach out to you in the jail to see how they can help you.
All right,
So
thank
just give me 1 second to get your form, okay?
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Well, while we're doing it, did you have any other questions?
For my items, I never seen my item that I came in here with from the airport. I have all my clothes and all my items from the airport. I just got off the plane. I never seen anything. I didn't even touch nothing. They didn't give me no paper or anything.
Okay, so that's something that I just looked at your application, so you qualify for a lawyer. So when they come and visit you, let them know that, and so they can start working on locating your items, okay?
So he's gonna talk to me about it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, so did you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so if you don't make the bond, you'll be in court in about 2 weeks, okay? And you do have a lawyer now.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. Regaldo? Ms. Regaldo, you've been charged with criminal trespass. That bond is $2,000. Simple battery is $5,000. You've been charged with robbery. That's $10,000. And cruelty to children in the third degree is $2,000. You do have special conditions on your bond. You can't have any contact with Margarita Juarez, and you're not allowed to go back to 919 Mondays Mill Road, Jonesboro, Georgia. I see you shaking your head. Do you have a question?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I no longer want contact with my daughter ever again. But that I have no family or friends here. That's my address. And I have a special needs 9-year-old daughter.
Okay. Did you fill out an application to have an attorney?
I did.
All right, so let me look at that. So based on your application, you qualify for an attorney. And the reason why I asked you that is because I'm not where I'm at. I can't investigate and I don't know that. And I have to maintain the peace. So I'm going to give you a lawyer and they're going to have to go and get that condition changed. So what happens is if what you're saying is actually true, the prosecutors will consent to a bond to change to modify it. So you will be able to, but as of right now, I can't do that, okay? So you are going to have a lawyer, and they will have to come and visit you, and they can get that taken care of to modify the bond so you can return to that address, okay?
How much did you say the bond was off in total? How much did you say the bond was all in total?
Okay, let's see. 19.
19,000?
Yeah, so if you go through a bonding company, it'll be like 15% of that.
Okay.
Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I want it over as soon as possible, so I'll keep it.
So keeping is gonna be, it won't be to February the 15th. And if you waive it, it'll be in about 2 weeks.
Okay, then in that case, I'll go ahead and waive it.
Okay.
Let's
Do
go
you
this.
think you'll be able to make your bond?
Oh, okay. No, okay.
I was asking, do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Sorry, sir.
Let's go.
Print your name at
Ms. Varner?
When we sisters.
I'm sorry, I see Reed. I'm sorry, I miss Reed. Are you Miss Reed?
Yes, I am.
Ms. Reed, you've been charged with theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond has been set at $3,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll keep it, because keeping it, it'd be February 15th or something around there.
Yes, if you keep it as February 15th, if you waive it, you'll be in court in about 2 weeks if you don't make your bond.
I'll do that.
So what you want to do?
I'll keep it.
All right, so your court date is going to be February the 15th
Okay.
at 8:30 a.m.
Make bond today. I may make bond today.
Yeah, so you'll be able to make bond as soon as they get the paperwork. So it probably won't be till later on this afternoon if your family tries to make it.
Yes, they are.
Would you like to, are you going to hire your own attorney? Or would you like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
My own attorney already. I wrote it on the paper, his name and number.
What do you know his last name?
Strunoff, Mike Strunoff.
Okay. All right. Are you sure you hired one? Because if not, you'll be languishing in there without an attorney.
Well, yes, that's my lawyer. He said that he
Okay.
couldn't. He spoke with the clerk before I had court today, and they told him that he couldn't make it today because,
Okay.
yeah. So he
All right.
spoke.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure. So that's it. So your case will be, if you don't make the bond, then you'll have that court date. If you make it, you won't have it. Did you have any other questions? All right.
Let's go.
Ms. Warner, you've been charged with battery. Your bond is set at $3,000. You have special conditions. You can't have any contact with Destiny Clisby. Is that your sister?
No, that's a I don't even know her. That was a prostitute. That was my dad's friend. But no, I asked.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if it was a relative or not. Okay, no problem. So you still can't have any, so it shouldn't be any problem. You're not having contact with her. And you can't go back to 5530 Old Dixie Road, Apartment J in Forest Park, Georgia at this time. That can be modified at a later date because I don't have any information about where the person lives.
Yeah, I can say because that's my place. Nobody else lived there but me and my sister.
Okay, so when you get your attorney, let them know so they can contact the solicitor's office to get that modified, okay? Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
If I waive it, then I can be back in 2 weeks. If I make bond.
If you waive it, it'll be 2 weeks, and if you decide to keep it and you don't make bond, the court date won't be till February the 9th.
Okay, I'm gonna make bond.
You can waive it? Okay. And I'm gonna appoint you an attorney to represent you, so they'll come and see you if you don't make the bond. Did you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
Print your name by the first store.
Are you Ms. Varner? Okay. So did you hear the conditions that I just gave to your sister?
I got a question. Go get my kids. When I make come
Yeah.
back.
You said you need to get your kids?
Yes, ma'am. They 2 and 4.
No, I mean, where are they?
At 55:30.
Who's with your kids now?
My daddy and my brother.
Just tell your dad to, meet you in the parking lot to get your kids and bring the stuff outside because I don't want you to violate the bond condition.
Okay.
So just tell them to bring the stuff in the parking lot. So your bond is the same amount, $3,000. You have the same special conditions. You can't have any contact with Destiny Clisby, and you can't return back to 5530 Old Dixie Road, apartment JA in Forest Park until this is modified, okay? Did you want to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? Okay. And did you need to be considered for a court-appointed attorney as well?
Sure.
I didn't hear you. You said yes? Are you going to be able to make your bond? All right. Based on your application, I'm approving you for an attorney. Did you have any other questions? All right. You can go back with the deputy.
Come here, man.
That should be all the females, right, deputy?
Got day 2 coming up.
Oh, who are those two?
Mr. Blighty,
You said who? I'm sorry.
Blighty,
Blight?
Blighting.
Blight.
Can
Can you spell that for me?
BLYDEN.
I saw that somewhere, Blighty.
Oh, that was the next day. Okay, so
It's in the next thing. Oh, he doing, okay.
that's okay.
We got it. Yes, over there. All right, Ms. Blyden, I see you filled out an application for a court-appointed attorney. I've approved that application for you, so you will have an attorney to represent you. You have been charged with driving under the influence. Your bond has been set at $5,000. Will you be able to make your bond?
Yes, I'm really not.
Okay. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
What would happen if I keep it?
If you keep it, you'll be in court on February the 9th. If you waive it, you'll be in court. If you don't make your bond and you're still there, you'll have court in about 2 weeks. So 1 month or 2 weeks. More than one. You want to waive or keep it?
So in order to get out of here, I have to pay the entire $5,000?
No, you would have to pay 15% through a bonding company, or you can use a property bond or cash.
Okay, what's 15%?
Yeah, I'm not sure. $600. So we need to get back to your preliminary hearing. You want to waive it or you want to keep it?
I'll take the 2 weeks.
Okay, so then that'll be a waiver. If you don't make the bond, then you'll be in court in 2 weeks. So if it doesn't post, okay? So I did appoint you an attorney. Did you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, you can go back with the deputies. Today.
Are we doing?
Was that the only one? I'm not sure. Did you have you said you had another female?
Tell your judge your name.
Yavion Carter.
You said Carter?
Yes.
Okay. And what was your first name, Miss Carter?
Yavion.
Okay. Okay, I have it. You've been charged with criminal damage in the 2nd degree. Your bond is $5,000. You cannot go back to the ICE bar located at 5456 West Fayetteville Road in College Park, Georgia. Do you understand that condition? Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing?
Waiving means that I can post bond, right?
You can post a bond either way. It's just if you don't post the bond and you waive your hearing, you'll be in court faster.
Okay, I'll waive it.
Okay. So if you don't make the bond, then you'll be in court in about 2 weeks. Do you think you're gonna be able to make it?
My mom already called the bonding company.
Okay. And you're not working right now?
No, I mean, I'm a dancer, so kind of.
You didn't put any income on here. How much do you make a month?
I'm not sure because the money comes and goes so fast and they don't tip out. So I honestly couldn't tell you.
I mean, so what's the average? Like $100 a week?
I mean, like $400 or $500 every other week.
Okay, so about $800 a month, maybe 800 to 1,000. Okay, I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. Did you have any other questions?
That's y'all.
Okay. Are we doing all the females for both calendars at one time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, just making sure. Are you Ms. Gribbins?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Gribbins, you've been charged with criminal trespass, damage to property. That bond is $2,000. You've been charged with theft by taking. That bond is $2,000. You have a special condition. You can't go back to 5320 Old Dixie Drive Road in Forest Park, Georgia, that car wash. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Waive it.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
I try to, ma'am.
All right, and did you need to be considered for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Are you currently unemployed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've assigned you an attorney and they'll have you complete the waiver form. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Yeah, I waive it.
Next person will step up, tell the judge your name.
Is this Miss Harvey, Letitia Harvey?
No, Laura, Roxana Laura.
I'm sorry.
Roxana Laura.
By that first phone.
Last name, L-A-R-A.
Oh, Laura? Okay. All right, you've been charged with obstructing a police officer. Your bond is set at $1,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Wait a minute.
And do you think you're gonna be able to make your bond?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And would you like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
For what, sorry?
A court-appointed attorney?
No.
You'll be able to hire your own attorney?
Or, no, I'll do it. I'll do it, sorry.
You actually you don't qualify, you make too much money, actually. You'll have to hire your own attorney.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, did you have any other questions?
No, that was it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Did she wait?
I did.
It's a waiver.
Sign by that, you want to print your name by that first call. You want to sign by the second. Tell the judge your name.
Sonia Murphy. Good afternoon.
You said Miss Murphy? Miss Murphy, you've been charged with aggravated assault. That bond has been denied at this time. You've been charged with criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor, so it's required to be set by law. So that bond is $5,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Because I've been denied bond for the aggravated assault, I can't bond out anyway, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, so if you waive it, you'll at least have some kind of court date within 2 weeks. And if you keep it, I can tell you now, your court date is going to be February the 15th if you want to challenge the sufficiency of the evidence and have a preliminary hearing.
Yes, and you said if I challenge it, the court date is when?
February the 15th at 8:30 a.m.
But if I don't, you say it's in 2
Yeah,
weeks?
then your case will be indicted or accused, and then the Superior Court judge will call you up for some type of status in about 2 weeks.
Now, the officer at the arrest said it was just battery, so I mean assault, so I don't understand how it became criminal.
When he did the warrantless arrest affidavit, he wrote it for aggravated assault because of the knife.
But he said that I was just getting charged for the marks, not the knife.
Well, then he changed his mind. He charged you for the knife.
Okay, so
So you want to have your hearing, or you want to keep waive your case?
You said if I waive it, I get it quicker?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you need to, let's see here. I've reviewed your application, so I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Did you have any other questions at this time?
Yeah.
Okay, you can go back with the deputies. What's your name, ma'am?
Eddie Jean Rainey.
Put your mask on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss Rainey, you've been charged with neglect to a disabled adult or person. Your bond has been set at $8,000. You can't have any contact with James Faith. You cannot go back to 4757 Puckett Street, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. Would you like to waive, or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing?
I would like to waive it.
Okay.
But
yes, ma'am.
now I had I just went to court on the 17th for I went to court because he's trying to have me evicted. So on that behalf, I went on the 17th, but I haven't heard nothing from the court.
Okay, so Miss Rainey, I appointed you an attorney. So when they come and visit you in jail in a few days, then let them know so they can check on that for you. Because I don't have access to look at it. All I have is the criminal paperwork here with me today.
Because I was just thinking about I'm being incarcerated. And
okay, all right. So I appointed you an attorney so they can investigate this case on your behalf, okay?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Did you waive?
Adashia Richardson.
Hold on one second, Miss Richardson. I'm getting your paperwork, okay?
Okay.
While I'm getting it together, I reviewed your application for an attorney. You do qualify, so I'm going to appoint you an attorney, okay?
Okay.
All right, you've been charged with simple battery. Your bond is $4,000. You can't have any contact with Adashia Richardson. And you cannot go back to the property located 850 Mount Zion Road, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. Do you understand?
I'm a.
Oh yeah, you're right. I see that. Hold on. The officer wrote it in here wrong. Oh, it's Brandon Copeland. You can't have any contact with him or return to that address. Do you understand that condition of your bond?
I understand.
Okay. Will you be able to make your bond?
Yes.
And let's see, yes. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I just have a question about the hearing.
Okay, what's your question?
If I don't waive it, I would still be able to post my bond and just return for the court date?
Yeah, so so you can keep your hearing. Either way, you can post the bond, whether you keep or waive your hearing. The thing is, if you make your bond, then you won't have the court date, because the court date is if you're still detained.
Okay. So then so if I make my bond, then I wouldn't be able to go to the hearing on the 9th.
Yeah, because it won't be a hearing. It's only if you're still detained that you'll have the hearing. So if you decide to, if, for instance, if you don't make your bond and you waive your case, you'll get to court faster. If not, you won't be in court till February 9th if for whatever reason you don't make the bond.
So by me posting my bond or making my bond, is that an admission of guilt? Would I be able to?
No, there's none at all. All you're gonna do is make your bond and wait for the court notice to come in the mail for when you to come back to court.
Okay, I'm
okay. They'll have you complete the waiver form. That's it. So you don't have any other questions, right?
all right. No, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Daniel Walker.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Oh, Miss Walker? How do you pronounce your first name? I want to make sure it's the right person.
Ladania.
Okay, all right, I have it. You've been charged with battery. Your bond is $5,000. You're not to have any contact with Kenneth Stampley. You can't go back to 6025 Old Dixie Road in Forest Park, Georgia. Do you understand those conditions of your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll waive it. And I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I need a protection order. I think that's what the cop told me.
Okay. So, Ms. Walker, I just reviewed your application for an attorney, and I'm going to grant that application. So I can't give you the legal advice, but this attorney is going to come and see you if you won't make the bond, and they can tell you the steps you need to take to get the protection order.
Okay. I'm gonna make the bond.
You think you're going to be able to make the bond?
Now, I think they're already in the process of doing it now.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
No.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last name's Harvey. Letitia Harvey.
Okay, Ms. Harvey, I have your paperwork here. Ms. Harvey, you've been charged with aggravated assault. That bond was denied. Battery, family violence is $20,000. Criminal trespass is $10,000. Terroristic threats or acts is denied, and you have battery, family violence, which is $10,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Waive it.
Okay, so they'll have you fill out the waiver form. And did you complete an application to have a court-appointed attorney? You didn't fill it out?
I don't think so.
You filled it out.
Saying I did, so apparently I did.
So you need to complete that form at some point so you can have an attorney to represent you, because I don't have it with me, okay? You didn't fill it out, I'm assuming. So make sure you do that as soon as possible so somebody can be working on your behalf, okay?
I think I'm gonna hire one. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Ma'am, let me ask you something. Is there anything my dad can do to help this situation? Because
Yes, he can. What he needs to do, if you're gonna hire an attorney, he needs to get with that attorney and they'll get with the DA's office to work out anything that can be worked out.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, that's going to be all of the females. We'll
Okay.
start in just a second.
Oh, well.
Harvey. She was Harvey.
She makes too much money anyway.
And then
Oh, that's what happened.
Ladies, come on, step out, ladies. Ladies, go ahead. Your Honor, I have one more female last name, which is Miss Clayton.
Oh, yeah, I don't think. Was she supposed to be on today's or yesterday's? Never mind, we got it.
He's on yesterday.
I have it. Are you Naomi? Your first name is Naomi? Okay. Miss Clayton, you've been charged with giving a false name, address, or date of birth. That bond is $1,000. You've been charged with not driving with I remember this. You've been charged without driving a license. That's $1,000. Child restraint is $500, and red light violation is $500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Waive.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You said waive?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know if you're going to be able to make your bond?
Yes.
And you currently unemployed?
Yes.
I've appointed you to have an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
Come in.
All right, you can go back with the deputies. Thank you.
All right, you have a Napier on your list?
You said a who? I'm sorry.
Napier.
Ashley Napier, ma'am.
Napier.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your first name, Miss Napier?
It's Ashley, ma'am.
Okay.
I was actually, may I speak to you, please?
Yeah, I'm listening.
I was actually brought in last night. I called the office. I called the police because I was robbed last night. I had my purse stolen from me, my laptop, my cell phone, all my belongings were stolen from me. The officers got out there. I told them what happened. Everything was fine. They were helping me look for my stuff just in case I had left it where I was at because I didn't have a light or anything to see. Anyways, by the end of all of it, they had brought my ex-boyfriend out, whom I just got bit on the head by, and I went to the hospital yesterday. So I have the stress of that and the stress of all of my stuff being stolen. Well, they run my name and found out I had a warrant out of Rockdale County. So they were going to bring me in because of the warrant. Well, Rockdale County said that they didn't want me. And for some reason, the officers locked me up for public intoxication, but I wasn't given a breathalyzer. I wasn't taken to the hospital to be tested.
Okay, I understand. So I'm looking for your paperwork right now. And so just give me 1 second, okay?
Just letting you know that I told them I was really having almost like a mental breakdown, because when you're going through a day of somebody abusing you, biting you on the head, and then you have all your things stolen from you, and then I have a 2-year-old little boy at home that I'm just trying to get home to, like, yeah, I think somebody that would make me have a mental breakdown.
Okay.
But I didn't even smell like alcohol or anything.
Just what the judge has to say at this point, okay?
Yeah, Miss Napier, just hold on. So I'm looking for your paperwork, so just give me a second, okay? But I heard everything you said. You don't have to repeat it. I heard you. Yeah, I'll double check too. Ms. Napier, so your bond is set at $1,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I guess. I mean, I don't have any money, but I wasn't under any type of influence. Is what I'm not understanding.
Yeah. So this is not the actual trial date. It's just the first appearance. So like, see how there's no officers here. There's no witnesses. So I can't try the case where you can actually say I'm not guilty and have a trial to prove that you weren't drunk. So I'm just here to determine probable cause. And based on the warrantless arrest affidavit, I found that there's sufficient probable cause to keep the case at this point. That's not to say that it won't be dismissed later. So as of today, your bond is $1,000. If you don't think you're going to be able to make your bond, if you waive your case, you'll have a court date in 2 weeks, or they may even be able to resolve your case sooner when your attorney comes in and meets with you. So I just want to know if you keep your hearing, it'll be February the 9th. And if you decide to waive it, you'll be in court in 2 weeks if you don't make it, or sooner if your lawyers can work something out with the prosecutor.
I'll just waive it.
Okay, so if you don't make the bond, then you'll be in court sooner. So did you have any other questions?
I mean, I was just hoping that I'd be able to get the OR bond. I do have a 2-year-old at home. That's all I was concerned about.
Okay, so as soon as when the lawyers come to see you, just let them know so they can expeditiously start working with the prosecutors to get a resolution for your case, okay? All right, thank you.
All right, yeah, that's the last female. We're gonna start with the males in just a second, okay?
All right.
Yeah, we're ready with the males. Will you step up here, Jim, and give the judge your first and last name, please?
Okay, what's your name, sir? Oh, Mr. Allen? Okay. You've been charged with simple battery family violence. Your bond is set at $3,500. You're to have no contact with Cherie Edmondson, and you cannot go back to 4735 apartment C8 Courtney Drive in Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. Do you understand that, sir?
I don't even live there.
Okay, well then that shouldn't be a problem. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Wait.
All right. And I've reviewed your application and have appointed you an attorney to represent you. Did you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Do you think you're going to be able to make your bond?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's it. Thank you. What's your last name, sir?
Bridges.
You said what?
Bridges.
Bridges? Oh, I saw that somewhere. Marcus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're not working right now, Mr. Bridges?
No, ma'am.
Right. I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You've been charged with armed robbery. Your bond has been denied at this time. I don't need a bond date. Your court date will, do you want to waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to keep it?
I keep it.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? All right, so it'll be February the 19th at 8:30 a.m. And let's see, that's it.
State your name loud. Tell me your name. Malcolm Buford.
All right, hold on one second, Mr. Buford.
I got Bray and Birchfield coming, y'all.
Okay, all right.
Bray first.
Right here, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bray? Mr. Bray, are you currently working?
Working two cars.
I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney. You've been charged with, let's see, 3 counts of violating the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and each one of those are $5,000 each. I've dismissed the trafficking charge You've been charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce is $1,500. Use of drug-related objects is $1,500. Possession of a firearm by a felon is $5,000. And possession of a weapon during the commission of a felony is $5,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I don't know what the best thing I'm gonna do.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
First time I've been charged with charges like that with the gun and all. I mean,
We'll keep your preliminary hearing date. Your lawyer can waive it at a later date. It's going to be February the 15th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 201. Thank you.
Also,
24.
gotcha.
What's your name, sir?
Brasfield, Sean Brasfield.
All right, Mr. Brasfield, you're not working right now?
No, ma'am, but I mean, I'm currently selling masks and the face shields for the coronavirus on the train to support me. And
Okay.
I have it on the way.
How much do you average a month in sales? What's your growth? What's your profit?
I make what, like $10 at the most every 2 days. That's
Okay.
$5 a day.
All right. So I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond is $2,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Can you explain? And can you just clarify everything for me? Because
I sure can. So your bond is $2,000. You've been charged with theft by receiving stolen property. So are you going to be able to make the bond?
I won't be able to make bond.
All right. Okay, so let's stop right there. So if you're not going to be able to make your bond and you decide that you want to keep your preliminary hearing, you won't go to court till February the 9th. If you decide you want to waive your hearing, then you'll be in court in about 2 weeks. So you want to keep your hearing and set it for February the 9th, or would you like to waive it?
I can waive it and just go to court in 2 weeks.
Okay, so all right, we'll do that, and they'll have you fill out the waiver form. I've appointed you an attorney. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I know how to read, bro. I'm not stupid. What's today's name?
Don't put the same name. That's all we need you to do.
I'm saying you making it hard for me, bro. And I just got this shit, bro. I'm not stupid. I don't know the date.
What's his name? What's the last name? Mr. Rasfield, you're still in court. I don't want to hold you in contempt.
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
This is the issue. Inside the medical with 2 isolations, inmate perseverance. I have the first one ready. If we can go with him first.
Okay, what's the name?
It's King Anthony. King.
King. Okay. All right, I'm getting the paperwork now.
All right, then. Thank you. Okay, Mr. King, go down right there. The judge going to talk to you, okay?
King, that's not a King.
Must be on the other guy.
All right. Where's the other stack? Is this one? Is it Anthony David King?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have the paperwork. Is that him there in that door?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. King, you've been charged with DUI less safe. The bond is $5,000 and open container is $500. Did you hear me when I went over the rights and all that stuff, or he was in there?
He was in there, he didn't get it, Judge.
Okay, all right. So Mr. King, let me advise you of your rights. So basically, essentially, this is the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. Today, we're not here to take a plea or try your case. I'm just here to tell you what your charges are. And I just told you what your bond was. It's $5,000 on a DUI and $500 on the open container. you have the right to remain silent and say nothing at all. And if you give up this right, well, actually, we won't even get into that. You will be able to either have a preliminary hearing, and a preliminary hearing basically is the opportunity to determine if there's enough evidence or probable cause to keep your case. So if you don't make your bond, I can tell you now, if you decide to keep your preliminary hearing, it's going to be February the 9th. If you decide to waive your hearing and you don't make your bond for whatever reason, you'll be in court in about 2 weeks in state court. They'll accuse your case and you can resolve it then. You didn't have an opportunity to complete your court-appointed attorney form. Are you currently working?
Yes, ma'am. I'm active duty Army.
I'm sorry, you said you were what?
I'm active duty Army.
Oh, okay. All right. So how much do you make a month?
I make about $10,000 after taxes a month.
Okay. So you don't qualify for me to appoint a court-appointed attorney. So you'll have to hire your own attorney, but you will be able to make bond. So do you think you're going to be able to post a bond in this case?
Ma'am, quick question. Am I allowed to pay the bond myself?
You can. You just have to have somebody to get the money for you. That's not, to pay it to the jail. So if you can go through, I'm sorry, I should have told you that. You can go through a bonding company and they charge about 15% of the total amount. You can pay cash to the jail, or you can post a property bond. If you use a property bond, the equity in the property has to be 3 times the bond amount.
Okay, so I think I understand what you're saying, but if my phone was left in my vehicle, and I don't have any phone numbers memorized, am I allowed to pay for it myself with the money here? Okay.
Oh, you mean if you have the cash there with you?
Well, it's in my bank account.
No, so if it's in your, oh, you mean like you're going to try to use a debit card or something?
Are you trying to get a debit card?
Is that what you're saying? You'll be able to, you want to know if you can pay with a debit card? Is that what you're saying?
Check card, I have credit cards.
I don't think they do that.
I don't have cash on me. Is that, do I pay that entire amount, or is it a part of the amount?
Okay, no, so you'll have to get someone to basically conduct that transaction for you. Because they'll, if it is that way, like they'll have to get an advance, however you tell them your PIN number, because the jail, that they won't accept it. They only accept cash, or it has to come through a bonding company or a property bond.
Okay.
So you'll have to find someone to do all that for you.
Is it possible for me to have the arresting officer get my phone out of the car? I guess it's impounded.
That would be something you would have to, I mean, I can't do that for you. You would have to, have you had an attorney yet?
No, ma'am. I'm active duty Army. I've been in 28 years. I've never done anything like this before.
Okay. Do you have some family or friends or co-workers or somebody that you can kind of get you an attorney so that they can basically do all the stuff that you're asking me to do?
I would have to I'd have to use the phone.
Okay. All right. So just, you have to let them, so use the phone. So do you want to keep your preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, ma'am.
Would you like to, let's just keep it. We're going to keep your preliminary hearing, and you can always waive it later. And so that hearing date, if you don't make bond, is going to be February the 9th.
You said February 9th?
Yes. So if you don't make your bond and you're still incarcerated, your next court date will be February the 9th. If you make your bond, then you won't have that court date. You'll receive notice from the court when they want you to come back to court.
So, yes, ma'am, quick question. Does that mean I'm getting released today, or how does that work?
You won't be released until you make the bond. So you're going to have to call somebody somewhere, or you're going to have to call somebody to get you out.
Okay, and and the total amount that needs to be paid is $5,500.
Right, if you do cash. If they go through a bonding company, it's gonna be 15% of that. You got it? Or do you have some other questions?
Well, I think I understand.
Okay, so so essentially you're gonna have to get someone who's not detained to either facilitate getting your card or from this property so they can go to the ATM or the bank to get your money, or they can go through a bonding company with the same debit card or Visa card, whatever you have in your property, so they can pay it through a bonding company.
Okay, and ma'am, is there any chance that you could take into consideration my years of service with the military and let me do this myself, or is that not possible?
Unfortunately, it's not. It's my boss. She won't allow me. She said we can't do that anymore.
I understand.
Yeah, it's not my call. Okay, did you have any other questions, Mr. King?
I do, but I don't know if you're the right person to ask it.
Okay, just you can ask and I'll let you know.
So I was staying in a hotel and checkout date is tomorrow. I think tomorrow is the 3rd. I'm just hoping that if for some reason I can't bond by then, is there procedures that someone, law enforcement, can go secure all of my stuff from my hotel room, or how does that work?
Actually, I don't think that they would do that, but I don't know. It's a question you'd have to ask. And again, whoever you call to kind of help facilitate bonding you out, you might want to also let them get in contact with the hotel so that they can get your belongings and so that they won't get discarded or anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that all your questions?
I think so. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you, Mr. King.
All right, thank you, Judge. I'll let you know about the other inmate when I'm connected.
Okay, who was the other one that you said was isolated?
It's Monroe.
Monroe?
Monroe.
Okay.
Monroe Carl. Leslie.
Okay. Is he there already?
No, Judge, I have to move to the next cell.
Oh, okay, all right.
So when I get connected, I will let you know.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, man.
Your Honor,
Yes.
would you like to resume with the others?
Oh, okay, yeah, we did it. Probably. That's where we left off.
Sure.
What's your name, sir?
Malcolm Buford.
Okay. Where are you employed at, Mr. Buford?
One more time.
Where are you working?
Oh, Amazon.
Okay, and you make $900 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've approved your request for a court-appointed attorney. Because you're on active probation, I'm not allowed by law to set a bond on your case, so it's been denied. You can revisit that later with the probation officer after they have an opportunity to come visit you there. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll keep it.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be February the 9th. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Harvey Carter.
All right, Mr. Carter. Harvey Lee Jr. Carter? Yeah, Harvey Lee Carter Jr. You've been charged with battery, family violence. That bond is $5,000. You were charged with trafficking methamphetamine. I dismissed that charge. You were charged with possession of a firearm by a felon. That's $5,000. You were also charged with possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. That's $5,000. And also violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act was $5,000. You had, do you know the battery is from a warrant? Did you know that? You know what the basis of it is? You know what the basis of that one is?
Yes,
the battery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. You have conditions on your bond. You can't have any contact with Brittany Parker, and you can't return to 2307 Stratford Circle in Morrow, Georgia. Do you understand that, sir? Do you understand those special conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'd like to keep it.
All right. Your preliminary hearing is going to be set for February the 15th at 8:30 a.m. Do you know if you're going to make your bond?
Yes, ma'am. I have one question. All my charges have a bond, right?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. I should.
Yeah. So how much money do you make a month?
Probably like 2,500.
Okay. And you wanted to be considered for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've appointed you one, and your hearing is set. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Judge, Monroe is ready, Judge.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Monroe. So this is the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We're not here to take a plea or try your case today. I'm essentially here to tell you what you're charged with, and let me see if you have a bond. And what your bond amount will be. You have one. So you will get a special condition bond. In your bond, you're not to have any contact with Kiana Conaway, and you can't return to 8610 Gospel Drive in Jonesboro, Georgia. The bond on your battery is $5,000. The bond on your criminal trespass charge is $6,000. So you have a total, I'm sorry, $1,000. You have a total of a $6,000 bond. You can post a bond through a bonding company. They'll take 15%. or you can do a cash bond directly to the jail, or you can do a property bond, but it has to have 3 times the equity amount. If you violate the special condition bond and you have contact with Miss Conway, then you can be charged with aggravated stalking, in which case you may not get a bond, and you can be sentenced up to 10 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. You have an opportunity to either have a preliminary hearing, or you can waive your case over to state court. If you can't make your bond for whatever reason, you will be in court in 2 weeks if you waive it. If you decide to keep your court date or keep your preliminary hearing, your court date is going to be February the 9th. So would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I don't really understand what it means.
So the preliminary hearing is an opportunity for you to test or have the state prove that there's probable cause, which means the crime probably occurred at the preliminary hearing. If the court finds that there is probable cause based on the testimony and evidence by the police officer, then your case will go on for further prosecution. Do you think you're going to be able to make your bond?
How much will the bond be? Will it be?
The total is $6,000, and if you go through a bonding company, they'll take 15%.
And how much that is, ma'am?
Let's just overestimate by $700.
Okay, can I do that? Can I do that today?
Yeah, I'm gonna sign the order today, so you'll be able to bond out today.
I will.
So we gotta figure out whether you want to have your you have to figure out whether you want to have your preliminary hearing or if you want to waive it. If you're gonna be able to make your bond, or you think you're gonna not be able to make it?
I have that money on my book now.
Okay, well, they still okay. Somebody had to come get the money from the book to give to the bonding company, though.
Oh, I don't even have a phone call or anything.
Okay. How much money do you make a month?
Say that again.
How much do you average a month in earnings from your job? Do you work?
I get disability now.
How much is your disability?
$941.
Okay, I'm appointing you an attorney to represent you. That attorney can help facilitate the process for you to get you to get your money to get you bonded out.
So what you're saying, he can help me get my bond money?
No, I mean, not actually get the money, but contact somebody so that they can get the money to post your bond.
Okay, because it's on my card.
I understand. So but that person can find out who can help you, your lawyer. So do you want to keep your hearing or you want to waive it?
And I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, so since you don't understand it, we're not going to waive it. We'll keep the hearing date. It's going to be February the 9th, okay?
Okay.
And if your lawyer decides later to waive it, they'll have you fill out the paperwork. They'll explain it to you in better terms than what I obviously can. Do you have any other questions?
When will I get the lawyer?
They'll be there probably, I think they have to be there in like 3 or 4 days from today's date. I don't know if they changed that because of COVID, but they should be there within a week if you're still there.
You said a week now?
Yeah, if you're still there, because it's COVID, so they can only have so many people and so many times and so many days because of the virus.
Okay. Is it possible I can make a call so someone can come and do it for me now? Or?
Yeah, they'll let you use the phone. You get a phone call. I don't know if you had it already, but you're supposed to get a phone call so you can call somebody.
Okay, because I can call someone to come and do that now.
Okay. Did you have any other questions, Mr. Monroe?
No, ma'am. So I make that bond, I can get out today.
Yep. As soon as you make it, they're gonna release you. I'm holding the paperwork. I already signed it.
How soon can I get the phone call?
You gotta work that out with the deputy over there. They'll let you know.
Okay. I have that money on my book now. All I gotta do is go to Bank of America and draw the money off.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Monroe. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. What's your name, sir?
Cherry.
Jerry, okay. All right, Mr. Cherry, you make too much money, so you'll have to hire your own attorney, okay?
Okay.
All right, you've been charged with, well, you were charged with trafficking methamphetamine. I dismissed that charge. You were charged with possession of a firearm by a felon, but the officer didn't indicate what felony you had been convicted for. So the warrantless arrest affidavit was insufficient, so that was dismissed for that reason. You were charged with possession of a weapon doing a crime, that was $5,000. Tenant window violation is $500. Obstructing a license plate is $1,000, and open container is $500. So your total bond is $7,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Ma'am.
Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Ma'am.
Yes, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I keep it, ma'am. I keep the phone.
Okay. So your hearing is going to be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 201. Yeah, so if you make the bond, you won't have that hearing date. You'll get notice from the court when to come back. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any other questions?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, what's your name, sir? I didn't hear you.
Chris Ellis.
All right, Mr. Ellis. Mr. Ellis, are you currently employed?
No, I'm not.
I've approved your application to have a court-appointed attorney represent you. You've been charged with driving on a suspended license. That charge is $1,500. The bond is $1,500. The red light violation is $500. Use of drug-related objects is $1,500. And possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is $1,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Keep it.
Okay. Okay, so it will be February the 9th.
So what's the total bond will be?
Hold on, let me finish filling this out. All right, let's see here. Your total bond is $3,045, $5,000.
Okay, I don't live here. I just came here to visit. I don't have access to get the money because I just came here for the weekend.
Okay, I have appointed you an attorney. So the attorney is gonna have to do that legwork on your behalf to find somebody who can help you out with that. So if you're unable to make the bond, the attorney will try to work out something with the state well before that February 9th court date to reach some type of resolution in your case. So, listen.
I tried to reach out to, I have my friend who came with, reach out to bail's bondsman, but they, since I'm not from here, they wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Did he try like different companies?
Yeah, she said she called 5 different places.
Okay.
I don't have a residence here, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, okay. So the only thing I can tell you is once you speak with the attorney to let them, they should, if you're still there, if you don't make the bond, they're supposed to be there like in 3 or 4 days to come visit with you. It's supposed to be sooner, but because of COVID, it's taking a little longer. And then they will have to get with the state's office, this prosecutor, to see if they can work out a consent bond or some kind of resolution to get you out quicker.
Okay.
All right, do you have any other questions? All right. You're welcome. What's your name, sir?
Ferris.
Mr. Ferris, you're unemployed? You've been charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That bond is $5,000. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is $1,500. Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing? All right, your preliminary hearing is going to be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney. Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
I hope so, ma'am.
Okay. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Station 9 loud. Good afternoon, man. Joel Green.
Mr. Green, you make too much money for me to appoint you a court-appointed attorney. So you'll have to hire your own attorney, okay?
Okay.
And you've been charged with forgery in the first degree. That bond is $5,000. And you've also been charged with false identification, manufacturing. That bond is $5,000. Do you have any questions about those charges?
Total bond is 10,000.
That's correct.
That's it.
Yeah, so would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
You said 15%, right, ma'am?
Yeah, it'll be 15% through a bonding company.
I'll keep my preliminary hearing.
All right, so it'll be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Groover.
You're not working right now, Mr. Groover? Okay.
I'm actually trying to get.
You've been charged with loitering or prowling. That bond is $1,000. Unlawful conduct during a 911 call is $1,000. Violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act is $10,000. Dangerous drugs on person is $1,000. Drugs not in a container is $1,000. You do have a special condition on your bond that you cannot return to the Publix located at 2045 Mount Zion Road in Jonesboro, Georgia, 30260. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Keep.
Your date is going to be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. Did you have any questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell your name. Tell your name now.
Kevin Galassa.
Okay. Mr. Galassa, how much do you earn a month? What's your average?
Address 30 Cary Court.
I'm sorry, I said, what's the average that you earn a month?
I'm just getting started. It's commission based, so I've been making like $400 a month.
Okay.
I get commissions, that goes up.
Okay. You've been charged with defective equipment. That bond is $500. You've been charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That bond is $500. You were charged with trafficking. I dismissed that charge for insufficient probable cause. You were charged with VGSA with the intent to distribute. That was $5,000. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is $1,500. And possession or use of drug-related objects is $1,500. So your total bond is $13,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? Your hearing date would be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. If you don't make the bond, if you make the bond, you won't have that court date. And I have appointed you an attorney. Did you have any questions?
Yes, all those charges, somebody else owned up to the possession of all those illegal things. What's the best course of action? Because I shouldn't have been charged with all of that.
So I've appointed you an attorney. The attorney can, they'll get with the district attorney's office. And if that's in fact the case, then the state will resolve your case for you.
Okay, so when will I see the attorney?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
How long till I see the attorney?
If you don't make the bond, they're supposed to be there in like 3 or 4 days from today's date.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. What's your name, sir?
Stephen Healy, ma'am.
Mr. Healy, you've been charged with theft by deception. Your bond is $2,000. You do have a special condition that you're not allowed to return to the Walmart located at 2940 Anvil Block Road in Ellenwood, Georgia. Do you understand that, sir? All right. And you make too much money to qualify for court-appointed attorney, so you'll have to hire your own attorney. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Keep it.
All right, your court date is going to be February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. If you make your bond, you will no longer have this court date, and the court will send you notice in the mail when you're next to appear. Did you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Finish, go to the podium, say your name.
Mr. Heredia, you make too much money to qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so you'll have to hire your own attorney, okay, sir?
Okay.
You've been charged with driving under the influence. That bond is $5,000. You've been charged with not having a driver's license. That's $1,000. And following too closely is $500. Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing?
Wait.
All right, I've checked that you've decided to waive your preliminary hearing. Did you have any other questions?
No.
All right, then you'll fill out the waiver paperwork, sir. Thank you. What's your name, sir? You're currently unemployed, sir? You're not working? Okay. You've been charged with criminal, I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You've been charged with criminal damage in the second degree. That bond is $5,000. You've been charged with possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. That's $5,000. And obstructing an officer, that's $2,000. You have a special condition of your bond. You cannot have any contact with Bridget Kamara, and you cannot return to 6094 Camden Forest Cove in Riverdale, Georgia, 30296 at this time. Do you understand that, sir?
No, ma'am. I don't know the person whose name you just said. And I don't believe
Bridget, they listed, the officer said that the alleged victim is Bridget Kamara.
For Lamont Knox?
You said what?
For Lamont Knox?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought you said Kamara. All right. Thank you for clearing that up. All right, Mr. Knox, Lamont, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Knox, you've been charged with burglary. That bond is $20,000. Criminal trespass is $5,000. Battery, family violence is $10,000. Defective equipment is $500. Giving a false name is $2,000. Possession of a marijuana is $1,500. And driving on a suspended license is $1,500. Do you remember? Do you know the basis of the burglary and the criminal trespass and battery? You know what those stem from, or did you need me to tell you?
Where it came from?
You said you know about those warrants.
Yes, ma'am.
You said yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, just making sure. All right, and so you said you're not working, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, as a special condition of your bond, you can't have any contact with Jasmine Oldham or Shamel Holloway, and you cannot return to 228 Morrow Road, Apartment E in Forest Park, Georgia. Do you understand that, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'd like to waive it.
Okay. I've appointed you an attorney. You'll get, if you don't make the bond, you'll be in court in about 2 weeks. Do you think you're gonna make the bond?
No, ma'am. Don't I have the probation also? Probation violations? So I can't.
Officer, he didn't mark it on the paperwork, but if you do, they won't release you. They'll release you to your probation hold.
Right.
I didn't see it, so. All right, any other questions?
Oh, ma'am, that's it.
All right, thank you. What's your name, sir? Okay, you're Mr. Kumar. And you're not working, is that correct? All right, so for criminal damage, you've been charged with criminal damage in a second degree. Your bond is $5,000. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime is $5,000. And obstructing a law enforcement officer is $2,000. And you, as a condition of your bond, you can't have any contact with Bridget Kamara, and you cannot return to 6094 Camden Forest Cove in Riverdale, Georgia. Do you understand it, sir? Do you understand those conditions? Okay, I didn't hear you. Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing? I didn't hear you. Keep it, okay. It will be, that's a felony. So it's gonna be February the 15th. And are you gonna be able to make your bond?
Ma'am.
All right. All right, do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Van Dyke, Cotrocayado.
Are you, you said you make like $2,000 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney. So you've hired an attorney?
Yes, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay, all right. You've been charged with battery, family violence. Your bond is $5,000. You cannot have any contact as a condition of this bond with Preeti Jaiswal, Preeti, last name Jaiswal. You cannot return to 5264 Riverwalk Place, Apartment A in College Park, Georgia at this time. Do you understand the conditions of your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing? You said keep it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it'll be February the 9th at 8:30 a.m.
And I have a question.
I'm listening.
You say you appointed me public defender?
That's correct. If you decide to hire an attorney, have your attorney that you hire file an entry of appearance, and that will relieve the public defender from representing you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you, sir.
What's your name? Van Dyke,
Kevin Lane.
All right, Mr. Lane, you're on disability?
Ma'am.
All right, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with DUI less safe. That bond is $5,000. Lay-in drags is $500. You said your name is Kevin Lane, right? Yeah. So the DUI is $5,000. They charge you with lay-in drags is $500. Having no driver's license or a suspended one is $1,500, and striking a fixed object is $1,500. So your total bond is $8,500. Would you like to waive or would you like to keep your preliminary hearing?
If I waive it, would I have a bond?
You have a bond one way or the other. Do you think you're gonna be able to make your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you decide you want to keep the hearing or if you keep it, it's gonna be February the 9th. So if you don't bond out, that'll be the next time you go to court.
Well, I keep it.
Okay, so if you do bond out, then you won't have this hearing date. They'll mail you notice when you need to come back to court.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sure.
All right, any other questions?
Amen.
All right, thank you, sir.
How you doing today, Judge?
I'm good, how are you, sir?
Doing well. My name is
What's your last name?
Agree.
Oh, okay. Mr. Gree, you actually make too much money for me to appoint an attorney to represent you, okay?
I think that can I knock that number down to about 3,000 instead. I make like 15 between each check bi-weekly.
Yeah, 3,000 is too much too. It's more than the poverty guidelines.
That's fine. I just wanted to clarify.
Okay, well, I'll change it, but you still make too much for the court-appointed attorney. You've been charged with driving with a suspended license, that's $1,500. You've been charged with red light violation, that's $500, and obstructing an officer is $500. Why you look? Is that not right or what? That's not your name?
I just checking my head at the suspended license because I went and got that fixed months ago, but
Okay.
I didn't fix it.
Okay, if that's the case, then when you do, then hire an attorney, and so they can get that charge resolved for you, okay? To let them know that you actually do have a driver's license. Do you want to keep or you want to waive your preliminary hearing?
Keep it.
Okay, it'll be February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. If you make your bond, you don't have this court date, they'll mail you notice when they come back to court, okay?
Can you tell me my bond in total? Please.
Yeah, 2,500, so it'll be about 15% of that through a bonding company.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome, take care. Good afternoon, what's your name, sir?
My name is Henry Love.
Mr. Love, you're currently unemployed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I have appointed a court-appointed attorney to represent you in this case. You've been charged with criminal trespass. That's $1,500, and disorderly conduct is $1,500. You are not allowed to go back to the airport at this time unless you have legitimate business, and you would have to go through your attorney to get this modified if you actually do have to go somewhere in the airport. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Waive it.
All right. If you don't make your bond, you should be in court within 2 weeks. If you make it, you don't have to come. Well, then they'll send you notice when to come back to court. Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
No, ma'am.
All right. Then you'll be in court within 2 weeks. Okay, sir?
Ma'am.
All right. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Okay, ma'am.
And your first name's Robert?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
How much do you make a month? You said 2,000? I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney. You've been charged with battery, simple battery, family violence. That bond is 5,000. Cruelty to children in the 3rd degree is 5,000. So your total bond is 10. You have special conditions. You cannot have any contact with Shamika Cargill, and you cannot return to 1509 Fairway Point Drive in Riverdale, Georgia, 30274 as a condition of your bond. Do you understand that? Do you have any belongings over there now? Do you have any clothes?
In my house, yes, I got everything over there like that.
So you'll have to come. So if you bond out, you have to get with the sheriff's office, and they'll coordinate so you can. They'll go with you to get some, not like everything in the house, but just enough until they can get the bond modified. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wait, hold on. You want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I keep it.
Okay. It's going to be February the 9th. If you make the bond, you won't have the preliminary hearing date, and they'll send you notice when to come back to court. You understand that?
How much you say the bond was?
10,000. It'll be 15% through a bonding company.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
How you doing, young?
I'm good. How are you?
My name is Greg Newberry.
Mr. Newberry, how much money do you make a month? I can't read your handwriting.
About $1,300 a month.
Okay. I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney. All right. So you've been charged with speeding over the maximum limits. That bond is 2,000. Reckless driving is 2,000. You have 2 counts of forgery in the 2nd degree, and those are $5,000 each. Financial transaction card forgery is 5,000, and having a possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime is 5,000. So your total bond is $24,000.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I want to go ahead and keep my preliminary hearing, y'all.
All right. So that will be set for February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. If you make your bond, you no longer have that court date, and they'll mail you notice when you're supposed to come back to court. Do you think you're going to be able to make the bond?
Yes, ma'am, I do believe so.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Have a good day, y'all.
You too.
Thanks a lot. How you doing today, y'all?
I'm good. How are you? Are you Mr. Paul?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you said you make $2,500 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm appointing you a court-appointed attorney to represent you, okay? You've been charged with DUI. That bond is $5,000. Open container is $500. In violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act is $500. So your total bond is $6,000. Would you like to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I want to keep my preliminary hearing, but I will be able to get my own attorney, Your Honor.
Okay. If you get your own attorney, just have that attorney. Oh, I see it now. Have your attorney file a entry of appearance, and then the public defender will be relieved from your case, okay? All right, anything else?
What's the total amount for my bond?
Okay, hold on one second. $6,000, so about 15% through a bonding company.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, take care.
What's your name, sir?
Justin Ramsey.
Mr. Ramsey, you currently not working?
Yes, I'm working.
You are working? How much do you make a month? You didn't put this on your paperwork. All right. I've approved you to have a court-appointed attorney, okay? You've been charged with obstructing a law enforcement officer. That bond is $3,000. Giving a false name is $1,000. So your total bond is $4,000. Would you like to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing? Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, what's the total bond?
Your total bond is $4,000. So 15% of that through a bonding company.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Lawrence Sellers.
Okay, Mr. Sellers, you're not working right now? Okay. I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You've been charged with simple battery. That bond is $5,000, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. What is your wife's last name? What's Tamika's last name?
Uzan, man.
You said what?
Uzan.
Can you spell that for me?
Mouzon.
Oh, and what was the first 3 letters?
MOU.
MOU, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
MOUCON?
EON. Z as in zebra. ON.
Okay. As a special condition of your bond, you can't have any contact with Ms. Mouzon, and you cannot return to 65382 Bridge Avenue in Forest Park, Georgia. Would you like to waive, or we want to keep your preliminary hearing? All right. Do you understand the special conditions of your bond? And do you think you're going to be able to make your bond?
I'll try.
Okay. If you don't make your bond, then you'll be in court within about 2 weeks, but an attorney will be there to meet with you before that time period. Okay? I'm sorry.
The bond again is 10,000, ma'am?
Let's see. 8,000. 15% through a bonding company.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Lawrence Singletary.
Mr. Singletary, are you currently unemployed?
No.
All right. I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with driving on a suspended license. That bond is $1,500, and improper lane change is $500. So your total bond is $2,000. Do you want to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I want to, well, I'm actually going to make the bond. Well, I actually done made bond because I already had my bond when I first came in. They gave me bond, and my girl actually paid it. So
okay, then you'll be released sometime today. So you want to just waive the preliminary hearing in that case?
yes.
Okay, so they'll release you if she's already posted it, because I didn't change it, so it's the same.
Well, the price you just told me is actually less than what they actually told me. It was actually $2,500. So I actually paid way more than what you just said.
They'll adjust it. So if it's more, I just signed the order, so it'll be what I just told you.
Okay.
And so, and if that's the case, and if they owe you something back, they'll do that.
Okay. And
okay.
That was 6 o'clock yesterday morning.
Yeah, they're not working as quickly as they used to because it's short staff because of coronavirus. You're gonna get out of there. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Take care, Mr. Singletary.
What's your name?
What's your name, sir?
Dominic Stevenson. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you? Are you you're currently not working?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with interference with custody. Your bond is $20,000, so you'll have to pay 15% to go through a bonding company. Would you want to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I guess I'll keep it.
Okay. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be February the 17th. So if you don't make that bond, that's when you'll be back to court unless your lawyer does something differently. Do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. What is 15% of 20?
Let's be conservative and say anywhere between like 2,500 and 3,000, because I don't know, you know, they have all those surcharges and tack on fees.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? What's your name, sir?
Williams Jr.
I didn't hear you.
Anton Williams Jr.
Williams. Okay. And you say you make about $1,250 a month?
Yes, I also make $250 based off my school.
Okay.
I get paid $250 a month for my school.
All right. I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You've been charged with fleeing from a police officer, that's $5,000. No tail lights is $500. Improper lane change is $500. Too fast forward conditions is $500. Possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana is $1,500. Driving on a suspended license is $1,500. And divided highway restriction is $500. Do you want to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll waive it.
Do you know if you're going to be able to make your bond?
Hopefully, man.
All right. Did you have any other questions?
Yes. Okay. For one of the charges, they said suspended license.
Yes. Let's see. Yes, you have a suspended license charge.
So I have the paperwork at home to show that Coweta County
Mm-hmm.
schedule it, but due to coronavirus, they shut traffic court down. So would I have to go through Clayton County, or would I have to go back to Coweta County to see?
Oh, so you missed your court date, so your license got suspended?
Yes, I guess, but they rescheduled it, and they said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I did appoint you in it. Well, I appointed your attorney for Clayton County. So your attorney is going to tell you which court that you need to go to clear that up, so that they can take this FCA and the suspended license charge to get it resolved. Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. What's your name, sir?
Earl Monteith Ward.
Okay. You're not working right now, Mr. Ward?
It's a sticky situation. I'm not even from.
Oh, that's right. That's the fugitive case. Did they Deputy, do you know if he signed those waivers? If they sent those waivers over?
They showed me some papers and came and talked to me, but I never signed anything.
Yes, Your Honor, they sent them over.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you gotta listen up. I gotta give you a long speech because they charged you with being a fugitive. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is your extradition hearing. All of the rights which I've advised everyone earlier also apply to you in your case, but your appearance before this court is a little different. You do not have any criminal charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought before the court today because you have charges pending against you in another state, and that state is requesting for you to return and answer for those charges. And I can tell by your face, do you know what state it is?
Yes, I know everything. yes.
Yeah, it's Minnesota. Okay, all right. So you know it's about a probation violation in Minnesota, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you decide to contest your extradition, you will be committed to the Clayton County Jail for an initial period of 30 days. During this time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition back to Minnesota. The court may consider allowing you to post a bond, but the court is not required to do so. As of today, I'm not granting a bond at this time. Now, if you wish to voluntarily return to Minnesota, you can file a petition for writ of habeas to contest your extradition. The petition can only contest 4 things: whether the extradition documents are in order on their face, whether you are actually charged with a crime that exists in that state, whether you are the person named in the request for the extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest these issues here in Georgia. You are entitled to an attorney to help you to decide whether you want to waive your extradition or whether you want to keep the hearing. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days while you wait for extradition. If the extradition is not completed within 90 days, then you will be released. So you can waive your extradition process and voluntarily return to Minnesota. The court cannot tell you when to expect for Minnesota to come for you, as a number of factors affects the timing. So are you in fact Corderio Monteith Ward?
Yes, Cordero Monteith Ward. Yes.
Okay. And do you have an attorney representing you already?
Yeah, Minnesota, but not.
Okay. All right, so I have appointed you an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to contest your extradition, or do you want to waive your extradition and voluntarily return to Minnesota to answer for the charges that they've charged you with?
Wait, so if I if before I came and seen you, the agent that came and talked to me and said that if I waive, they only have 30 days to come get me, otherwise I will be released. If I waive?
Yeah, so if you don't waive, Clayton County Jail have to release you in 90 days. But yeah, they're gonna hold you for 30 days while they wait for a warrant to come. So it doesn't guarantee it's gonna be 30 days because of different factors, but yes, that's about right. So waiver, they have about 30 days. And then after 90 days and you don't waive, then Clayton County have to release you.
All right, but if I waive and they don't come get me in 30, y'all still gotta release me.
Yeah, unless there's some other factors because of coronavirus and holidays. So it's not a hard 30 days. So like it don't do you, so it's not do you any good to like actually count down 30 days because it's not a hard fast 30 days.
What is it, might be like 40 or?
It could be, yes.
So basically, listen, I don't have no criminal charges in the state of Georgia, period.
Right.
In y'all already got me here.
Right.
So I just want to give Minnesota they 30 days to come get me. If not, then I can get released and I go up there my own stuff.
Then you need to sign the waiver. Okay. That's the quickest way is the waiver. Or else you're gonna be here for 3 months in this state, in that jail.
I'm gonna sign the waiver, Your Honor.
Okay, they had the paperwork, so fill that paperwork out, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right.
What's your name, sir?
White.
Okay. Mr. White, how much do you average a month at your job?
Say 1,300.
Okay. So you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I've appointed you one.
Okay.
All right. And so you've been charged with criminal trespass, unlawful purpose. And that bond is $1,000. You've been charged with an expired or invalid tag. That's $500. Obscuring a license plate is $1,000. Concealing an ID or motor vehicle is $500. no insurance is 1,000, and driving with a suspended license is 1,500. So your total bond is $5,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll wait. What happens?
If you waive it and you're unable to make your bond, then you'll go to court faster. And if you decide to keep your preliminary hearing, your next court date won't be till February the 9th.
So I want to pay it and get on out of jail.
Okay, so then you can just post the bond today, and then once you're bonded out, they'll send you notice in the mail when they come back to court.
Now I have one question. It says trespassing. Where did it say I was trespassing and who said that?
I'll tell you, hold on one second. It says that you operated a motor vehicle, which is a 2000 GMC Yukon on the highway, Bethesda Road and Highway 85 in Clayton County with a plastic tag cover with the wrong license plate. You didn't have any insurance. There was no tag on the vehicle purchased in Texas on 6/17/2017, and that you had a suspended license for failure to appear on September 12, 2019. Hold on, he got a bunch of pages. In the criminal trespass charge, they're accusing you of knowingly and maliciously interfering with the possession of the property of Timothy Lester without his consent, that you took his medication, prescriptions for high blood pressure out of his bathroom, placed them in the plastic bag, hid them behind the couch, and that you all had lived together for 9 months. So that's the basis of the criminal trespass unlawful purpose. That warrant was issued on April 13th, 2020.
And you say the bond is how much total?
5,500.
Okay.
All right. Did you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Let me make sure that you answered all of mine. Okay, yeah, you did. All right, so it's going to be a waiver. If you don't make the bond, then you'll be in court and you'll have a lawyer to come see you if you're still there, okay? All right, thank you.
All right. You're fine, step on. You're fine, step on. I don't start you wrong.
Okay, so I need to go over the rights with all these people, right?
Yes, this is for the second. The mail's for the second.
Okay, all right. All right, if everyone could please raise your right hand. All right, do you swear and affirm the statements that you state in this application before the court are true? If so, please put your hand down. If what you say is true, put your hand down. All right. So good afternoon. This is your first appearance in the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. I'm only here today to tell you what you've been charged with and advise you of your rights and set bail on offenses for which I'm authorized to set bail for, and to schedule preliminary hearings if you decide to have a preliminary hearing. I'm not here to have a trial in your case or to take a plea. So it's not any resolution except for getting a bond set if you're eligible for one. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail pending prosecution of this case. And that could be a commercial bond, which means going through a bonding company. And bonding companies now take about 15% of whatever the total amount of the bond is. And that 15% is what they charge to actually make the bond. And so you don't get that back. That's their fee. Or you can do a cash bond through the jail. And at the conclusion of your case, if you post a cash bond, that money is returned to you less some small administrative fees. Or you can post your bond through property. If you do a property bond, you have to have 3 times the amount of equity in the property to post your bond to use property. Some of you, based on your charges, will have special conditions on your bond that will prohibit you from contacting a certain person and going to certain places. These special conditions will be provided on the bond form, which you will have to sign if you're eligible for a bond. If the case is like a battery case, for instance, the person who's alleged to be the victim will not be able to post your bond. If you violate the court's order and you have contact with the person that I've asked you not to have contact with, or you return to the place that I've asked you not to return to, you can be charged with aggravated stalking, or your bond can be revoked, and you may not be entitled to a bond while you wait for the trial on those charges. If you are currently on active probation, the law does not allow me to set a bond in your case. And if you have certain charges that are certain felonies, the law also does not allow me to set a bond on your case at this time. If you post a bond, you will not have a preliminary hearing if you decide to have one. Just because there's so many of you all, and I don't want to have to keep going through this with each and every one of you, so this is the easiest way to kind of help you make a decision. If you decide to keep your preliminary hearing date, I can tell you the dates right now so you can start thinking about it. If you're charged with a misdemeanor, the preliminary hearing date is February the 9th, over a month. And if you're charged with a felony, the court date is going to be February the 17th. And if you're charged with charges that I can't set today because they're like let's say a kidnapping or aggravated robbery, and you decide to keep those hearing dates, it's going to be February the 19th. So for instance, if you're unable to make your bond and you're still in jail, for whatever reason you can't make it, you will be in court if you decide to waive your hearing within 2 weeks versus the dates that I just told you for the hearing dates. The point of a preliminary hearing is to test or ask the state to prove that there's probable cause to continue to hold you for those charges. And what that means is that it's probable that you committed the crime, and there's enough evidence to show that it's probable that you committed the crime, not truth beyond a reasonable doubt, which is required in trial. So it's a lower burden. So with all that being said, we're going to start the calendar as soon as the deputies get everybody back in place, and then we'll go over your charges individually. Okay? All right.
I'm having Jack, I'm a Jack or something. I tried to tell the officer I can't breathe. That my medication, that's medical, that I can't stand it no more now. I need some help. All right, listen. Yes, sir. I need to get my medical. Yes, sir. They were trying to hurry us to do it. Yeah. All right, this one, let me go over. Okay. Rules and captain. Rules. Call 52257. Rules. Campbell. Rules. There is good.
What's his name and what's his age?
Let's go back. Yes.
What's his name and age?
Hold on, I'll get it for you.
Yeah.
Campbell, come on. There is a good about you. Oh, and something. If you don't, yeah. Owens somewhere. Somewhere. 10, 15, 19, 16. Check him out.
He's gonna have to come back. Yeah, he is. So you have him back.
Come and check him out.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Good afternoon. My name is Julian Bruce.
Okay, Mr. Bruce, how much money do you average in a month?
I'm homeless. I basically moved up here to get a job with House Records.
Okay. I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with public drunk. That bond is 1,000. Disorderly conduct is 1,500. And pedestrians under the influence is $1,000. Would you like to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
Waiving, I don't know. I just had a drink at a party and next thing you know, I woke up in jail.
Okay, do you think you're gonna be able to make your bond?
I don't have any money.
Okay. So if you waive your case, then you'll have a court date probably within 2 weeks, like I said earlier. And if you decide to keep it, you're not gonna have a court date to February 9th. So it's a whole month. So you can keep it now, and you'll be appointed an attorney, and then they can meet with you, and then you can decide to waive it later. So you don't have to. So if you want to keep it, you can keep it, because we can always waive it after the fact. But once we waive it, we're not. It's no undoing that waiver. You know, pretty much.
I know I wasn't talking to I'm not really a drinker. So I mean, if that's saying that I'm taking a good charge, I mean.
No. So what we'll do, let's keep, since you're not clear about what you want to do, it's better to keep your hearing date, and then the attorney will come and meet with you, and then they can waive it later, or they might even have a resolution for your case. Okay? So the hearing date is going to be the 9th of February. Are you, and I've assigned you an attorney. Do you have any other questions?
Is it a way where I can just probably I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out a way I can get out of here. I'm from Florida.
So the only way you'll be able to get out like today is if you post a bond, because you have a bond set. So if you're unable to make the bond, then the lawyer that I've assigned to represent you will come and meet with you to help you reach that goal of getting out of Clayton County Jail as soon as possible.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
When can I see it? When would be the earliest? I'm out.
Somebody will come meet with you this week, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right here. What's your name?
What's your name, sir? Lorenzo Campbell? Okay, all right. And you're not working right now, Mr. Campbell? You said no? Okay. I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with defective equipment. That bond is 500. Failure to have on headlights is 500. License violation is 500. And possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is $1,500. Would you like to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I don't know what that means. I just like to post a bond.
Okay, so you can post the bond whether you have the hearing or not. So let's set your hearing down, and you can change your mind, or the lawyer. And if you bond out, you won't have to come back to court on February the 9th, okay, at 8:30 a.m. So if you make bond, you don't have to come back to court until you get notice in the mail. If you don't make bond, then your court date would be on February the 9th. I've appointed a lawyer to come and represent you. So if you're still detained and you don't make bond, they'll move your case along, okay? Do you have any other questions? All right, thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
Crenshaw.
Mr. Crenshaw, are you currently working?
Yes.
How much do you average a month?
500.
Okay. I've appointed an attorney to represent you, sir. You've been charged with theft by taking. Your bond amount is $2,000. You cannot go back to 1551 Phoenix Boulevard, College Park, Georgia, 30349. So you understand you can't go back to that hotel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would you like to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
Waive.
All right. I've appointed you an attorney. Do you have any other questions? All right, thank you, sir. Are you Mr. Culver? Are you currently working, Mr. Culver?
Yes, sure.
How much do you make a month?
I make about a month, which is 860, about $2,100 a month.
Okay. I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with simple, 2 counts of simple battery. The bond on each count is $5,000. So your total bond is $10,000. So it's going to take, if you go through a bonding company, it's going to take about 15%. You do have special conditions to your bond. You're to have no contact with lender Hubbard and Michaela Culver. And you cannot return to 7735 Lot 30, Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236 at this time. Do you understand the conditions of your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would you like to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I keep the hearing.
All right. Your hearing is set for February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. If you make bond, you do not have to return to court on that date. Do you understand that, sir? They'll send you notice in the mail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you think if you're going to be able to make the bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm done. Thank you, sir. Are you Mr. Fields? I couldn't hear you. Are you Mr. Fields?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Fields, how much do you make a month?
$1,500 to $2,000.
Okay. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That bond is $5,000. Crossing the guard line with drugs is $1,000. And you have another count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That's $5,000. Would you like to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I like to waive.
Do you know if you're going to be able to make the bond? Yes,
Yes.
no, yes, okay. All right, so if you make the bond, just keep the court updated with your address. I see you live out of state, so you don't miss the court dates, okay? All right, thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
Norris Henry.
Norris, okay. How much do you make a month, Mr. Henry?
I say probably about roughly 1,200.
Okay. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is $10,000. You have special conditions. You're not to have any contact with Aaliyah Holder, and you cannot return to 5724 Riverdale Road, apartment A8, Riverdale, Georgia, 30274. You are, however, permitted to return to the residence to retrieve any undisputed personal property within 10 days from your release of custody with law enforcement. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you be able to, you know if you're going to be able to make your bond?
So do you think it's possible I get a bond reduced?
And I reviewed the facts of the case, so not at this time. Not to say it won't happen in the future. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I'm not really understanding of the question. I'm not understanding of the question.
The question is, would you like to keep your preliminary hearing or do you want to waive it? Let's keep it. Since you don't understand it, it's better to do that because you can always waive it later. So your attorney that I've assigned to represent you will come and meet with you, or if you're still detained and don't make the bond. And then they'll let you know whether to keep the hearing or waive it. So we'll keep it for purposes of now. So it's going to be February the 17th.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. What's your last name, sir?
Henry.
Samuel Henry?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Henry, are you working?
I get disability.
How much is your disability?
700.
All right. I've appointed you an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with driving without a license, that's 1,000. Obstruction or hindering is 500, and having a no tag or expired or invalid tag is 500. So your total bond is $2,000. Do you know if you're going to be able to make your bond?
Yeah, how much would the bond be?
$2,000. So if you go through a bonding company, about 15%. So like between 250 and 300, depending on all the fees.
I can bond now.
All right. So do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
Well, if I waive, do I get out soon?
You get out whenever you post the bond.
Okay. All right.
So you want to waive it?
Well, yeah, I'll waive it.
Okay. They'll have you fill out the paperwork there at the jail. Thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
Craig Jackson.
Craig Jackson. Mr. Jackson, how much do you make a month?
1,200.
I've approved you to have a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You've been charged with endangering the security interest. Do you know what this is about?
No.
All right, so let me read the warrant to you. Let's see here. It says, on or about April 15, 2016, you did knowingly remove, conceal, or otherwise seal a 2005 Chevrolet Trailblazer and enlist the VIN number, property subject to the security interest of Colonial Sale and Leasing with the intent to hinder enforcement of their security interest. So it looked like you must have kept a car or something.
No, I bought the car, paid for it, went to Chicago, it broke down on me, I told them.
Oh, okay. Well, they came and took out a warrant a long time ago about this. So do you want to, your bond is $2,000. Do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing? I didn't hear you. Okay, all right. So they'll have you fill out the waiver paperwork over there. And if you don't make the bond, you'll be in court in about 2 weeks. If you make the bond, they'll send you notice when to come to court.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Take care.
You don't? Come on.
What's your name, sir?
Abdullahi James.
All right, Mr. James, you make about $3,000 a month. You said yes? Okay. And you make too much money to qualify for an attorney, so you'll have to hire your own. You've been charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor, that's $20,000, and enticing a child for indecent purposes, that's $20,000. So your total bond is $40,000. So it's going to be about 15% of that to get out through a bonding company. Do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I want to keep it. Is it possible that I can get a deduction?
Yeah, well, not today. So at a later time. And also, if you hire an attorney, they can also go to the DA's office and try to get you a consent bond. But for now, at first appearance, based on the facts of this case, not today.
So if they bond out at 15%, they still bond out at 15%? About
15% of that. You said you wanted to keep your hearing, right?
I want to keep my hearing.
Okay, so it's going to be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 201. If you make the bond, you will not have this court date, and you will get notice when it come back to court. So you need to hire an attorney so that they can get with the state to see if they can get a consent bond. And if they agree, if the DA's office agree and they do a consent bond, we will sign off on the consent bond usually.
If I get a lawyer, then you'll sign up the consent bond, that's what you're saying?
If the state agrees to it. That's why it's called a consent bond. That means everybody agrees.
Basically, in order to get that, I have to come back to another hearing?
No, you can do that now. If you hire an attorney, they can start working for you as soon as possible.
Okay.
All right, do you have any other questions?
I have a lot of questions, but no, not at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Take care, sir. What's your name, sir?
Dwight Griffin. Dwight Griffin.
Okay. And you said you make about $1,400 a month, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you've been charged with aggravated assault. That bond has been denied. You've been charged with battery. That's $20,000. And criminal damage in the second degree. That bond has also been denied. Would you like to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
Can I ask why it's been denied?
Yeah, based on the facts of the case and criminal history.
Okay. And what? How much was the battery bond?
The battery is $20,000.
I don't want to waive my preliminary hearing.
You said you do? Oh, you don't? Okay, it's going to be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 201.
Okay.
Did you have any questions? Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. If I have an attorney that's hired, would I be able to look at a bond case sooner?
Yes. So your attorney will contact the district attorney's office, and if they're able to reach an agreement on bond prior to your court date, then they can present a consent bond for us for consideration to give it to putting a bond on your case.
Okay. And what's a consent bond? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to.
That's okay. When a district attorney and your attorney, they reach an amount that they think that you'll be able to afford, and then they'll come and they'll present it to one of the judges here, and then we'll look at everything and decide whether we're gonna sign off on it.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Take care. What's your name, sir?
Monte Jones.
All right. Mr. Jones, so you're unemployed?
Yes, ma'am. I get unemployment.
Okay, all right. I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You've been charged with possession of a firearm by a felon. That's $5,000. Normally, I guess you had a suspended license.
I know it's suspended tag.
Suspended tag. Okay, that's $500, and reckless driving is $1,500. Would you like to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I like to keep it.
All right. So your date is going to be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 201. If you bond out of jail, you won't have this court date anymore. They'll mail you notice when they come back to court. Do you know if you're going to be able to make the bond?
I could try. I have to try. I got my 2 kids out there. They by themselves. They with a female friend of mine. So I have to try to make it. Okay.
All right. So if you make the bond and you don't have to come back to court on the 17th, you'll get notice in the mail when to come back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
DeAndre Kent speaking with you.
1 second, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Kent. How much do you average a month, sir?
Like $100 a month.
Okay. I've appointed you a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You've been charged with criminal trespass. Your bond is $2,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll waive it.
All right. They'll have you fill out the paperwork. Do you have any other questions?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. What's your name, sir? You said Knox?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Knox, you've been charged with violation of Controlled Substance Act. Your bond is $3,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? You said waive it? Keep it? Get the speak up, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't hear you. Want to waive it or you want to keep it?
Keep it.
Okay. And are you working right now?
I know, ma'am. I just do some part-time catering.
Okay, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. Your hearing is going to be set for February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. If you make the bond, you do not have this court date, they'll mail you notice when it come back to court. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Do you think you're going to be able to make your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Are you Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you working right now, Mr. Lindsay?
Not at the moment.
All right, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with driving on a suspended license, that's $1,500, and giving a false name is $1,000. So your total bond is $2,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Keep it.
All right, it'll be set for February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. And will you be able to hire an attorney? Or you need to, oh, that's right, you said you're not working. Will you be able to make your bond?
I believe so.
Okay, all right, thank you. What's your name, sir?
Moore.
Mr. Moore, so you said you make, how much do you make, are you working? Okay. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with violation of, oh, y'all all in the same car. You were charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Your bond is $3,000. Do you want to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? Are you going to be able to make your bond?
No.
All right. Your preliminary hearing date is February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. If you make the bond, you will not have court on that date. You will get notice in the mail when it come back, okay? Any questions? All right, thank you. What's your name, sir?
Norman.
Oh, Lamar Norman?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not working right now, is that correct, sir? You've been charged with battery. The bond amount is $5,000. You have a special condition. You can't have any contact with Sharon Hart, and you're not allowed to return to 5751 Riverdale Road, apartment 13, I guess it's O in College Park, Georgia at this time. Do you understand your special conditions? I didn't hear you. You don't understand them? So, so while you're out, if you make bond and while you're out on bond, you can't have contact with Sharon Hart.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you can't go back to 5751 Riverdale Road to the apartment in College Park. Do you understand that part? If you have property there, you have to go with a sheriff's deputy there within 10 days after your release to get any undisputed personal property at this time. Okay. Would you like to keep your preliminary hearing or would you like to waive it? You said keep it?
Yeah.
All right, it will be February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. If you make your bond, you do not have to come back to court on that date. You'll get notice in the mail when they return to court. Do you understand that? All right, thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
I'm Owen.
All right, Mr. Owens.
Now,
You said you make about $2,500 a month?
thank you, but I don't work, I'm not a digital anymore. I'm working on my SSI.
Okay, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with theft by receiving stolen property, and your bond is set at $8,000. Would you like to waive, or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
The get there the quickest is the one I want to do. You said there's.
Okay, so you want to waive it. The waiver is quicker because the court date would be February the 17th if you keep your hearing.
And
yeah, they'll have you sign the waiver paperwork, and I've assigned an attorney to represent you, so someone will come and meet with you. Okay. You have any other questions?
They said they might have a hold on me. Can you check and see? Jennifer?
I didn't see anything, but you have it's a lot going on, so you might have one. But I didn't see it like on the front of the paperwork. But that doesn't mean you don't have one.
Okay, well, my ex-wife called and said that there wasn't no, they didn't have no holes no more. But I got, you know, a lot of issues with art and everything, and they.
Okay. Okay, well, hopefully they'll get you, get this resolved quickly for you, okay?
50% on the 8,000.
Yeah, at this time.
Hey, is that the lowest did you go, Your Honor, because I'm working on my disability?
Yeah, it was based on the facts and your criminal history was pretty lengthy, so that's why.
Okay.
So, but not to say it can't be lowered later, but because of your history is what got it that price.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Take care.
No, give me 1 second, okay, Your Honor?
All right, no problem. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Judge Nigel Parker.
Okay, all right, Mr. Parker. And you make about $1,600 a month, Mr. Parker?
On a good month, on a bad, about 1,300.
Okay, I've assigned you an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $3,000. You were in the car with everybody else? All right, would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? All right, it's going to be February the 17th at 8:30 a.m. If you make your bond, you do not have to appear on that date. You will get notice when to come back to court. Do you know if you're going to be able to make your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any questions?
Ma'am.
You said no? All right, thank you. What's your name, sir?
Pickens is the last name, Brandon.
Okay, Mr. Pickens, you make about $300 a month according to this application?
Yes.
All right, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with defective headlights. That bond is $500. Open container is $500. Driving with a suspended license is $1,500. DUI less safe is $3,000. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is $1,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I can keep it. What's the total bond?
Hold on 1 second. Let me fill out this paperwork for your hearing. It's going to be February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. If you make the bond, you will not have the court date. They'll mail you notice when to come back. All right, let's see what your bond. All right. 7,000. So 15% of that to get out through a bonding company. You have any other questions? All right, take care. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Timothy Seaton. Timothy Seaton.
Okay. Oh, did they get that? Mr. Seaton, they added you to the calendar, so they had to forward over all the paperwork, and they hadn't done it yet. Or if they did it, they haven't given it to me just yet. So I have to take you out of order. So I'm gonna go on to the next person until I get all your stuff.
I'll stand in the back of the line then. Thank you.
Okay. What's your last name, sir?
Last name is Short, S-H-O-R-T.
Okay, Nikos.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're not working right now, or you are working?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How much do you make a month?
Depends.
What's the average?
After child support, somewhere around 1,500.
How much is your child support?
$1,200 a month.
I've appointed you an attorney to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been charged with aggravated assault. That bond has been denied, and terroristic threats or acts, and that bond has also been denied at this time. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I've been charged with what, ma'am?
Aggravated assault and terroristic threats. Do you know the basis for the charges? Did you need me to read the warrant to you?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Did you want to waive your hearing or you want to keep it?
Well, I'll waive it and I'll handle everything with the attorney.
Okay. So I appointed an attorney to represent you, so somebody will be there to meet with you soon, okay? All right, thank you, sir. I'll just finish up. Did they have, hold on one second, sir. Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, I know, somewhere I said. Okay. What's your name, sir?
Taylor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you said you make about $800 a month?
No, that's what my girl makes. I stay
How
with
much do you make?
I don't have a job right now.
Okay. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. Yeah, I see where you put it on the box about other source of income. You've been charged with no license in violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Your total bond is $2,000. It's $1,000 each charge. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Keep.
All right, so your hearing is going to be February the 9th.
I do have
I'm sorry, what did you say?
bond was 2,000.
Yes, 1,000 on the marijuana and 1,000 for driving without a license.
With the marijuana, did they charge me over a house?
Yeah, they charge you just a little bit over it, 1.37.
With there being 5 people in the car, is there any way that they could be split?
So how that works is you have an attorney who's going to work all that out for you. All I do now is just look at the facts in your history and set a bond.
Yes, ma'am.
And so so your hearing date is actually going to be the 17th. It'll be the 17th at 8:30 a.m. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Where will I go for a bondsman? I'm not from here.
So you're going to have some of your family or friends to call to look up bonding companies in Clayton County, because they have to be located here, or wherever you're from, they have to work with a bonding company here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Is it over? What's your name, sir?
Jamal Tong.
Mr. Batong, I reviewed your paperwork and find that there's insufficient probable cause to hold you on that charge, so your case has been dismissed, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name, sir?
Vegas.
You said Vegas?
You Vegas, yes, ma'am. You Vegas.
Spell it for me.
U V as in Victor, E G E S.
All right. So I don't have your paperwork, so I'm going to ask the clerk in just a moment to see if she can locate it, and then I'll come back to you. Oh, no. Here you go. She already put it in the stack. I have it. Okay. And you say you make about $2,100 a month?
Something like that, give or take. It's I do commercial roofing, so it bounces back.
Okay. All right. So you've been charged with DUI less safe. That's $5,000. Improper lane change is $500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I don't believe I understand the difference between the two in terms of, could you?
Yes. So the preliminary hearing is the opportunity for you to have the state prove that it's probable that you committed the crimes that are alleged. And if you decided to do that because it's misdemeanors, your court date would be February the 9th. However, if you make the bond in your case, you won't have a hearing on that date, and you will get notice in the mail when to come back to court. But you say you're waiving?
I guess I plan on trying to make the bond, so.
Okay, well then even if you don't make the bond and you waive it, you'll actually be in court sooner. You'll be in court within 2 weeks and the lawyer comes see you this week. So if you're still there, somebody will see you and then you'll be in court about 3 weeks sooner.
Okay.
All right, did you have any other questions, sir? All right, thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Michael Whitehead.
You said Webb?
Michael Whitehead.
Oh, Whitehead. Okay. I see it. Okay. And you say you make about $1,200 a month, Mr. Whitehead?
Between 1,000 and 1,200, yes, ma'am.
All right. I've approved you to have an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with battery family violence, and that bond amount is $5,000. Cruelty to children in the third degree is $2,000. You do have special conditions. You're not allowed to have contact with Carice Michelle. Is it Carice Michelle or Michelle Carice?
It's Carice Michelle.
Okay. And you're not allowed to return to 6370 Old Dixie Road in Jonesboro, Georgia at this time. If you have items located in the property, you can go with the sheriff within 10 days of your release to get any undisputed personal property. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. And will you be able to make your bond?
No, ma'am. I'd like to ask if possible. I have 3 minor children as well as a home to maintain. Don't have any like family or friend support where someone can go pay the bond for me, and I don't have that amount of money with me or anything like that. Is there any way that the court would consider a signature bond so that I could be free to, take care of my children?
Unfortunately, my boss, she doesn't allow signature bonds, so I can't.
There's also another thing. That address that you have on file, it's at a hotel. At the time of the alleged incident, my children were nowhere there. My children were not present for any of the allegations. I believe that the court may have assumed that they were because it was Christmas Eve, but we actually were not at home.
No, it's based on the warrant. So on December 26th, the officer said that the children, Michael Whitehead, date of birth 9/6/2018, and I guess Carlson, that they were present. So that's what the officer swore under oath. So at this time, I'm not going to dismiss or modify the charges because there's an actual sworn warrant out on the case. So even if it's not true, you can dispute that at the trial and they can change it and modify it at that time.
Okay, and what's my
So do you want to keep your preliminary hearing or do you want to waive it?
If I waive the preliminary hearing, that gets me in court sooner, right?
That's correct.
And it says that they have to prove that all the allegations are true.
Yes, they do at a trial beyond a reasonable doubt. But the purposes of today is just probable cause, and I have a warrant, so that makes probable cause for today.
I thought the charge was from the 24th, ma'am.
Not according to this warrant.
What I was given when I was charged.
Oh, sorry, you're right. You're absolutely right. It was signed by the judge on the 26th. It is. It says December the 24th, 2020 is when it happened, but the judge signed it on the 26th.
I'm not trying to, cause any problems.
It's all right. You have a right to know your charges.
And as far as that goes, with the officer's sworn statement, I wasn't arrested until the 30th. And
Okay.
Carice Michelle, and the children weren't present then either. So I believe that this officer's statement, there's something wrong there because I didn't get my children until the 25th. I had my children for Christmas. Me and Carice were alone on the 24th.
Okay. So that's one of those trial issues. So that's not anything that I'm in a position to modify or dismiss because I have a sworn warrant from an officer signed by a judge already.
And how much did you say my bond was in total?
$7,000.
And what, if I could find a agency like in the city of Atlanta that takes 10%, would I be able to do that?
They have to be authorized to write bonds. So some of them have locations in, Fulton County and Clayton. So they have to be a bonding company that the sheriffs allow to write bonds in Clayton County. So they have bonding companies that are in both counties. So you can use whoever's authorized to write bonds in Clayton County.
Okay, and how long will it be before I can actually pay that bond, like before it's posted?
Today.
Today?
Mm-hmm. I already signed the paperwork.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right.
What's your name, sir?
Marlon White.
Marlon. All right. Are you you're not employed right now?
No, ma'am.
All right. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You've been charged with improper lane change, that's $500 bond. No insurance is $500. Obstructing an officer is $1,000. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is $1,500. So your total bond was at $1,000, $2,000, $3,500. Are you gonna be able to make that bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'll make that bond. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And would you like to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
No, I'll waive. I'll waive.
All right. So they'll have you fill out the waiver paperwork and you're all finished. Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am. You have a nice day.
Take care.
Ma'am.
Are you Mr. Webb?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you you're not employed right now, Mr. Webb?
No, ma'am. I just came out here to look for work.
Okay. So I've appointed an attorney to represent you on you've been charged with improper U-turn. That bond is $500. The no license charge is $500. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is $1,500. And crossing the guard line is $500. So your total bond is $1,025, $3,000. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
What is that?
It's about 15% of that. So about $350, between $350, $400 to get up.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I would like to waive.
Okay. They'll have you fill out the paperwork over there. And that's it, sir. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. And what's your name?
Let's go to hold you.
Oh, I saw that somewhere. Hold on 1 second, sir. Oh. It got mixed in somewhere. Yeah. Ojo.
The people?
Yeah, that must be what it is.
Oh, no.
Is that Mr. Let me do you. I'm gonna do Mr. Seaton first because I got a lot to go over with you. Mr. Seaton, I'm ready. I have your paperwork.
Okay, thank you.
So it looks like here. So do you have an attorney?
Not currently, no.
Okay, and all right, so I'll appoint one. And I'm trying to read your notes. You said you've been here, what, 15 days?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I went, I had first appearance on Saturday the 19th.
Okay.
I had 2 charges. And then on Sunday the 20th, I had another charge. And I don't know where it came from or whatever. And then the judge said, I saw you yesterday on the way here. And I said, I don't know why I'm here either. And since then, it's been just
okay.
bingo and I've been kidnapped.
Okay, so it looks like they found, I guess, so there's a warrant here and it's from October the 17th.
Oh,
And
it's all the same day.
you said what?
I'm the one who actually called the police. So
Okay, no, so what I'm saying is, I'm not disputing the facts. So I'm just saying the warrant, I guess that they found that they're here for today is criminal trespass damage to property from October the 17th, where they're alleging that you fired approximately 6 shots from a Smith & Wesson inside the residence, through the bottom screen door to the residence. You admitting shooting holes in the door, and the reason was to make the victim to shut up. So that's the basis of the criminal trespass damage. So the bond for that warrant, oh, I just got the paperwork. Hold on 1 second, okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right, sir. Your bond amount is being set at $2,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing? It will be February the 9th at 8:30 a.m. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Can you make them all the same day? Because I got arrested all the same day. I mean, I got 2 prior to.
When is it? Do you know your other date?
They told me January 26th, but then my
Yeah, so I will. So what I'm gonna do, we'll look it up. And so whatever date your other charges are, I got a sticky note here. So whatever date your the other charges are, they'll be on the same day.
All right. I mean, just as far back as possible. I'm gonna go back because I can't go back to my house. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it on the same day so they can deal with everything on the same day if you're still here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, I'm bonded up today.
Yeah, I set a bond on it, so yeah.
Will it be 2, 2, and 3? Is that a total?
I don't have the other paperwork, so I don't know what they are. I just have this one charge.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, there's definitely 2, 2, and 7 then, or 2, 2, and 3. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure. Come on. All right. Hello, Your Honor.
Yeah. Hello. Hold on. I got to finish filling this paperwork out for the previous person.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Onalaja. All right. So you've been charged with being a fugitive from justice. Let's see, this is out of Texas for aggravated assault. All right, so I gotta go over this and all the stuff with you. Are you working?
No, no.
All right. So I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Yeah.
I'm listening. What is it?
I just wanted to let you know I know like absolutely nothing. So
Okay. All right. So let me tell you what I know.
okay, perfect.
What I know is, let's see here. They say you're wanted by the Collin County Sheriff's Office in Texas for aggravated assault for warrant number 20-552, and it just indicates that they do intend to extradite. So that's all the information that I have, which leads me to let me go over what your rights are about this. So this is basically a extradition hearing, what we're about to do now. So all of the rights that you heard me tell everybody else, they also apply to you in your case, but your appearance is just a little bit different. So you don't obviously have any criminal charges here in Clayton County. You've been brought to me today because of the charges pending against you in Texas, and Texas wants you to return back to those states to answer for those charges. So you're being charged with being a fugitive from the state of Texas, where you're wanted for the offense of aggravated assault. You can contest this extradition, or you can waive the extradition and voluntarily return to Texas without going through a formal extradition process. If you decide to contest your extradition, you'll be committed to the Clayton County Jail for an initial period of at least 30 days. During this time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to Texas. The court may consider allowing you to post a bond, but the court is not required to do so, and we're not doing so today at this time. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to Texas, you can file a petition for writ of habeas corpus to contest your extradition. In that petition, you can only contest 4 things: whether the documents are valid on their face, whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in Texas, whether you are the person named in the hearing and request for the extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest your innocence or guilt here in Georgia at this court. You are entitled to an attorney deciding whether you want to waive your hearing or you want to contest it. I have appointed you an attorney, so someone can help you make that decision. If the state of Texas is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. If the extradition is not completed within 90 days, then you will be released from Clayton County Jail. You may waive the extradition process and voluntarily return to Texas. The court cannot tell you what to expect when to Texas to come for you, as a number of factors affect the timing. So are you in fact Dennis Onolaja?
Yes.
All right. And do you have an attorney representing you in this extradition hearing?
My mother's handling that.
Okay. Do you wish to contest your extradition, or do you waive the formal extradition and voluntarily will return to the state of Texas to answer those charges that they have pending against you?
Okay, so if I waive and voluntarily return, then basically I book a flight back home, and then the police are waiting for me there.
No, they're gonna come. They'll come. Texas is gonna come get you from here. So yeah. So if they don't come, yeah. So they'll come and get you from here.
Okay, so and I can take up to 30 days.
Yes.
That's if I voluntarily return.
Yes.
And then if I contest it,
then they have 90 days. So you can be here for 90 days.
so
So your quicker way out of this is a waiver.
okay, and I waive, and they can take up to 30 days to come.
They can, yes.
Oh, and they have to drive up here.
Yeah, so that's why you probably need to have your brother to actually hire an attorney there in Texas. So all of this can be expedited and resolved.
Okay, then I'll do the fastest one, which is
the waiver.
Yeah, I've never been in this type of situation. Honestly, I didn't even know I had a warrant out for my arrest.
Okay.
So
okay.
Like when I was flying, so I was going to Dubai to meet with friends. And they found me at the Atlanta airport, and I was like, "Is this like a bank or something?" Like I didn't.
Okay. So all you need, so just fill out that paperwork to sign the waiver, and then have your brother to start to get a lawyer, and that way they can expedite this whole matter for you. Okay.
Can I get a call right now?
Oh, you hopped out in the jail, bro.
Yeah, they'll have to do it over there. I don't have any authority to make them do anything, or they don't listen to me like that over there. So they'll give you a phone call.
Did they give you any information about the case at all in terms of?
Yeah, so no, they don't tell us that. They only send the paperwork to show that there is a valid warrant, where there is a warrant with your name on it, and that's all they send us, and that's all they have to send to us, because we don't actually try the case here.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All the best to you.
Okay.
That's everybody, right?
Yes, Judge. That's everybody, Judge.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
In the YouTube part.